In this video, you'll discover whether or not the egg yolk is actually good for you or whether you should just toss it. I don't know about you, but I'm old enough to remember when pretty much anybody who was serious about weight loss, serious about fitness, and serious about their overall health, they were going and ditching the egg yolk. I remember growing up and seeing this happen again and again. You get the carton of egg whites, you make your omelets with it, you make your different baked goods with it, simply because the egg yolks were bad for you. We've been told this by major health organizations for so many years. And so people weren't doing it, frivolously. They did it based on the knowledge that they had. Now, what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna break this down. We're gonna talk about the nutrition in egg whites, and we're gonna talk about the nutrition in egg yolks. We're gonna really break down what you're gonna find in those, and towards the end of this video, it's gonna turn into a game of fact or fiction. So stick around to the end, and before we get started, I'm Dr. Zarowski. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, it's a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and join our notification community. That way it can help you excel your health and your life. So let's go ahead and dive in here. Let's talk about egg whites first, okay? Because we really need to know what the difference is. Egg whites, egg yolks, what are you gonna find in them? Because there's this idea, like I said, that many people actually still believe that you need to just focus on eating the egg whites and stay away from that bad part, and that is the egg yolk with all that cholesterol and that really bad stuff in it. So let's go ahead and talk about egg whites first. What is the nutrition like? So when we look at egg whites, it's gonna be low in calories, which is one of the reasons that a lot of people in the fitness community, weight loss community really loved it, because it had hardly any calories in it. It also is gonna be about 90% water, okay? It's gonna fill you up, but it also is going to be 90% water. Around 60% of the protein is actually found in the egg white. So these people who wanted to put muscle on, who wanted to get strong, they were eating all the egg whites because it had all the protein in it, and they were staying away from the egg yolk because it had all the fat in it, which was going to make you fat, of course. Now, the other thing here about the egg whites is it has very little nutrition in it, okay? So when we look at the nutrient quality, let's take a step over here. We're basically seeing, first of all, about 17 calories, and this is based on a large egg, okay? I know when I do videos like this, a lot of people will tell me, well, your nutrition facts are off. It's just because it's based on different sizes, okay? Eggs basically are gonna range from a small egg to an extra large egg. We're gonna base this on a large egg. So when we look at calories, around 17 there. As far as sodium and potassium, we do have some of that within the egg white. About 55 milligrams of sodium, 2% of your daily value. And potassium, it's about 1% of your daily value. So we're not getting a whole lot here, okay? This is nothing to get excited about. Now, when we go down a little bit further, about 3.6 grams of protein in there. And then you're also going to find that it has absolutely pretty much no vitamins. When we look at fat-soluble vitamins, when we look at the different micronutrients, it's pretty much empty. We're seeing a little bit of magnesium in here, about 1% of your daily value. So that is not, of course, something to get excited about either. The good news is that we're finding some protein in there, and a lot of people who want the protein, they're gonna look at this egg white and say, well, that's what I need. But stick around to the end of this video, because I'm going to talk about that in the fact or fiction section. Let's go ahead and talk about the egg yolk, okay? So it made sense that we didn't actually just put the yolk by itself, because what I'm going to convince you to do throughout this video is actually eat the whole egg versus just one or the other. So we did egg whites, now we're going to talk about the whole egg, including the yolk. Now when we break that down, you're going to find about 70 calories, okay? That's why a lot of people really love the egg. It's overall pretty low in calories. Now, the other thing that we're going to see here that most people are afraid of is that, first of all, it has cholesterol in it, 185 milligrams per egg. So that's something we're going to get to in just a moment. We're going to break that down a little bit further and talk about what the science has to say on that topic. We're also going to find that it has protein in it. 40% of the protein is going to be found in the yolk. Now, let's take a look at the different vitamins, okay? When we talk about the egg yolk, or just the egg in general, it's referred to as nature's multivitamin. And the reason for it is because it is high in fat-soluble vitamins, it's high in the different micronutrients across the board, and it has a little bit of everything in it. Anything from folate down to phosphorus, iodine, zinc, selenium. It also has tons of great fats in it. It's got things like choline in it, which is very important for reducing inflammation in the body. It's important for reducing homocysteine levels, improving heart health. It's got DHA, which is incredibly important for brain health. It's very important for neurological health. It's important for your eye health. And when we look at, developing fetuses in the womb, when we look at mothers who are breastfeeding their children, children growing up, and even adults, it's so important to have these fats. Basically, if you include these fats into your daily routine, the studies show that you basically are going to be more intelligent and have a higher IQ. So we want to make sure that we're not only including the white in here, but we're including the yolk so that we can get the full spectrum of benefits here. When we look at the egg yolk in general, it has tons of nutrients. If you throw the egg yolk out, you are getting rid of all this stuff. You're basically getting a shot of protein. And like I said, in the fact or fiction section, we'll talk about why that doesn't even work out very well for you if that's your main goal, just to get a whole bunch of protein. So let's go ahead and move on. Like I said, though, when we look at the egg yolk, it's considered nature's multivitamin. Lots of good nutrients within the entire egg. We don't want to throw the egg yolk out. We want to eat the entire egg. Fact or fiction, egg yolks are high in cholesterol. Now, many people were led to believe that they're high in cholesterol, and it's got 185 milligrams of cholesterol in it. So yes, it has cholesterol. Now, whether you think that's high may depend on what scientific journals you're reading or what your perception of the situation is. But when we look at the cholesterol content, there's a lot to know about it. It's not just, well, you ate cholesterol, so it's going to raise your cholesterol and it's going to plug your arteries and cause all kinds of havoc for you. It doesn't work like that. Let's talk about what, the science tells us. First of all, the cholesterol in egg is not going to impact your overall cholesterol levels. And this is the reason why, because the liver produces less. Now, if you know about cholesterol, basically it's absolutely essential for neurological health, it's essential for brain health, it's essential for hormone health. It is essential for your body, so much so that your body will go and actually produce it. So what happens when you eat more cholesterol? Your liver produces less. The body is a very intelligent homeostatic mechanism that likes to create balance and order. And so when you eat cholesterol, like I said, the liver produces less. So it's not just this thing where the liver is always going to produce at a set level, and then when you eat a whole bunch of cholesterol, it just raises it like crazy in the body. It doesn't work like that. Now, the other thing that, like I said, we're very concerned about is the overall cholesterol profile. Eggs have been found to improve cholesterol profile, raising the HDL and lowering the LDL. Okay, so many people understand that the HDL is considered your good cholesterol and the LDL is considered your bad cholesterol. I actually did a video basically diving more into that. If you're interested in heart health and cholesterol, you're going to want to check that out. And I'll put it in a link in the description here. But basically, when we look at the cholesterol within the eggs, it's going to help improve heart health. It's going to help improve your cholesterol scores and do some really great things for you. So make sure that when you consider the yolk, you realize that it's not going to raise your cholesterol and cause havoc within the body. It's actually going to do good things for you. Now let's talk about fact or fiction number 2, and that is egg yolks are fattening, okay? Like I mentioned before, anybody who is in the health community, the weight loss community, they basically were afraid of eating the egg yolk because fat makes you fat, and that's what they really thought. Now, the thing is that, of course, that's not true here, and if it was true, anybody who followed the ketogenic diet would just die from obesity in a couple days because they're eating enormous amounts of fat. So fat doesn't make you fat because that's not how it works in the body, and so we don't have to worry about the fat in the eggs making us fat. Now, the fats in the egg, like I mentioned briefly before, are very important for our overall health. It's high in choline, it's high in DHA, which is important. It's high in omega-3s. These are all fats that our body really needs in order to thrive. And so eating the egg is going to be very important. It's part of that whole nature's multivitamin where it has everything in it. Let's go ahead and talk about the next topic, fact or fiction number 3. All the protein is in the egg whites. Well, that of course is not true too. Nearly half the protein is in the yolk. Remember, we talked about it. Around 40% is going to be in the yolk and around 60% is going to be in the egg white. So if you're someone who's concerned about just eating a bunch of egg whites because you want to get all that protein, then you really have a misunderstanding of this topic and you're being misled if somebody has told you that. Let's take this a little bit further here because this is very important about how the protein is actually working in your body if you just eat egg whites versus if you eat the yolk. Now, our next fact or fiction here. Egg whites are better for muscle building, okay? We just mentioned about 60% in the egg white and the egg yolk has less, but let's talk about this. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, they did a study on this. Basically, they wanted to look at this theory that you're going to build more muscle if you eat more egg whites. And here's what they found. They examined healthy young men. They basically took egg whites and whole eggs. They took egg whites alone, and then they took the whole egg, and they compared which one actually saw better results. And they actually used equal amounts of protein, 16 grams of egg whites, 16 grams of the whole egg, as far as protein goes. And what they found is whole eggs resulted in significantly greater muscle protein synthesis. So the people who actually ate the whole egg were able to utilize the protein much better. And because one of the reasons is it has all the nutrients in it, okay? So when we look at how the body functions, it's not just about putting the protein in and it automatically is used. You put the protein in and then the body has to basically figure out how to use it. And what they found is with the whole egg, the body was able to use that protein much better and get much better results. So anybody who's trying to build muscle and utilize eggs for that, the whole egg was the way to go. Now, if you want to learn more about this whole egg controversy, like in regards to the American Heart Association and in basically them just saying that they're bad for you and all these other major organizations out there, go ahead and click on a link up here. I did a video on that topic. I don't want to get into it in this video, but check that out because a lot of people are interested in it and they're confused on that particular topic. But when we look at eggs, we want to make sure that we're eating the whole egg and not just the whites, not just the yolk. We want to get the whole egg because when we put that together, it's a superfood and it has tons of powerful micronutrients in it, tons of good fats that are going to help improve your health. Now, also, if you want to learn more about how many eggs a day that you should eat, I'll put a link in the description because I did a video on that topic as well. Other than that, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section here below. Be sure to subscribe, hit that little bell notification, especially if you want to learn more about weight loss, nutrition, fasting, apple cider vinegar, all your favorite topics. Click that link so that you don't ever miss any of them. And then also check out my other videos over here so that I can help you improve your life. And I'll see you in the next video.